Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse producer Chris Miller said there will not be any generative AI in the upcoming finale to the amazing animated trilogy, and the goal is to create unique visual styles and not copy others for Sony Animation's production of Spider-Man.
That man's an imposter! That man is the imposter!
Welcome to Furphy's Feedback, folks. But before we get into it, given the last two movies, how high is the standard that Beyond the Spider-Verse has to hit to be a success? Let me know in the comments, where I'll be replying to people like that creepy kid who stares at Miles Morales. So, as the world waits for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, one of the Marvel producers opens up on what they will not be using for their production. Following the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ending, audiences have been patiently looking for any news on the third and final installment in Miles Morales' animated trilogy. With the title being Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, a lot of theories have been floating around on how the final film will finish the story. While updates on Beyond the Spider-Verse have been limited, one of the franchise's writers and producers, Chris Miller, responded on X to a fan who was asking Sony Animations to keep generative AI away from Beyond the Spider-Verse. Miller made it very clear there is no generative AI in Beyond the Spider-Verse, while adding the following. There is no generative AI in Beyond the Spider-Verse, and there never will be. One of the main goals of the film is to create new visual styles that have never been seen in studio CG film, not steal the generic plagiarized average of other artists' work.
Never rub another man's rhubarb.
As of right now, a release date for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has not yet been set by Sony, and it's unclear where in the production stages the prequel is at following the end of the 2023 strikes. Supposedly, the Spider-Verse actors have been doing their voice recordings, but whether or not they are done remains to be seen. The Spider-Verse fan who initially got the conversation started with Miller on X comes only a few days after a statement made by Sony Pictures Entertainment CEO Tony Vinciquerra about the studio's new strategies for filmmaking. During an investor conference that took place in Japan last week via The Hollywood Reporter, Vinciquerra stated that they are focusing a lot on AI and incorporating more of it for producing movies. Vinciquerra stated, "We'll be looking at ways to use AI to produce films for theaters and television in more efficient ways using AI primarily." This struck a big reaction from industry people and critics alike, as this could lead to a major number of jobs being taken away from production crews across the board. This is also happening in the midst of active negotiations between the major Hollywood studios and the crew union. While Vinciquerra added, the agreements that came out of last year's strikes and the agreements that will come out of the IATSE and Teamster negotiations will define roughly what we do with AI. This has obviously caused a lot of concern for big films like Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and even Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4.
Boy, I'm worried!
The future of Hollywood is definitely experiencing some turbulence right now, with the box office going up and down, as well as studios still trying to find ways to cut down costs by relying on AI. With Miller addressing this about Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, it's still promising to see film producers making it clear that they are looking to commit to more traditional routes of filmmaking. Hopefully, there will be more news on Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse soon, including its long-awaited release date.
Surely.
But I want it now!